Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news. Now, first of all, with the Switch being announced and coming out pretty soon, people are starting to worry, oh my gosh, are they done with... Well, yes, first of all, they're done with Wii U. There are no new Wii U games in development by Nintendo, but besides, of course, Zelda Breath of the Wild, but it's already done, so that doesn't count. Anyways, but what about the 3DS, right? That's a little worrisome. Not to worry, though. Apparently, Reggie says there are plenty of as yet unannounced 3DS games that will be announced, will be coming out, so the 3DS is not dead. It won't be dead for a long time. He says it will be living side by side with the Switch for quite a while, so for years to come, I think he said, so that's reassuring. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, as many of you know, there are 3 different editions available. There's a standard edition, which is just the game. There's the special edition, which comes with, most importantly, a carrying case for your Switch that has the Sheikah eye symbol on it, which I think is the coolest part, but then also a cloth map and a coin. I'm not interested in the coin or the cloth map, really, but, and a CD, which I'm also not super... Who has a CD player these days? I mean, they should provide you instead with some kind of code to download it digitally or something, but I digress. The point is, collectors care about those things. Anyways, then beyond that, there's the Master Edition, which has all that stuff, plus a Master Sword statue thing, which does look pretty cool, but if you know much about me, you know I'm not really into collecting trinkets and statues and things. It's not really my jam. I like things to be functional. I don't like decorative things, really. Like, the only Nintendo stuff I really have are the games themselves and the consoles and shirts, because they're all functional. I wear a shirt because it's cold or whatever. But anyways, that's just my own personal philosophy. It does look really cool, though, so there is a tiny part of me that wants the Master Edition, but I also know that sword thing is just going to stay in a box in a closet somewhere, so what the heck is the point? So I did not get the Master Edition, but I did want the Special Edition because it had that carrying case to put your Switch tablet thing in, and see, that's a functional thing, so it serves 2 purposes. It shows off that I'm a Zelda fan, but it also has a function. And a pretty important one, too, because I would have to buy some other kind of carrying case regardless at some point. So yes, I did get the Special Edition, pre-ordered it. By the time I got around to pre-ordering it, though, things were pretty... I was convinced I wasn't going to be able to find one, and sure enough, everywhere was sold out. Amazon was sold out of the Special and the Master Editions. Target was, everywhere except Best Buy for some reason. Best Buy had some special edition ones, and then I placed my order, and I checked back just a few hours later, and they were sold out, so I thankfully scraped by just in time. Interestingly enough, apparently, though, they did provide more, they've somehow scrounged up more copies, and so a few hours after they were sold out, they suddenly had stock again, but then less than an hour later, they were sold out again. So I don't know where it stands at this point. I hope you got the version that you want. I did, so I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just very happy about that. But I did tweet out, by the way, and posted on the Bastion Time Facebook, oh my gosh, Best Buy has the Special Edition still. If you don't have it and you want it, here's the link. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of stressful because apparently that's it. Those amounts are all they have. They are not going to be having any additional stock or making any new stock, so yikes. I hope you guys got the one you wanted. But anyways, as far as the real point of all of that babble was to talk about the Master Edition and about how the fact that around the rim of the box there's some HYLIAN text, which some people translated because we are able to decipher that in this day and age, and guess what it says? It's pretty awesome. It says the Hyrule Fantasy. Now, in case you don't know, and I know you, most of you, 99% of you watching this know this, but if you don't know, that's the name of the very first Legend of Zelda game in Japan, at least, not in the Americas or anything, but in Japan it was called the Hyrule Fantasy, The Legend of Zelda. So Legend of Zelda was really meant to just be its subtitle. I think they envisioned the series would be called the Hyrule Fantasy, and then the first game is The Legend of Zelda. But anyways, that is really cool, and it continues to point to the fact that Breath of the Wild really seems to be shaping up to be almost like a remake of the original Legend of Zelda. It would not surprise me if that's what it turned out to be. I've been guessing this for like over a year now that that's what it is. So it would be really interesting if that turned out to be true. It's like a new modern take on the original Legend of Zelda. That would be awesome. By the way, speaking of pre-orders for Breath of the Wild, one scary thing is that Amazon has been sending out some terrifying emails to people who have pre-ordered it through their site, updating them, saying their new ship date is not March 3rd, it's March 13th. Why the heck 10 days later? Well, that must mean either one of two things. One, they're having a technical glitch, and not to worry, it's still coming on March the 3rd, you'll get it March the 3rd. Or two, they're so overwhelmed with pre-orders, they didn't have a system set up in place to be able to take care of all of those in time, so now they have to delay them. I can't believe it's the second thing. That just seems horrific. Like, if I were in that situation and I had put an order at Amazon and then found that out, I'd be frustrated beyond belief, but it may be what it is. So definitely go ahead, if you've been one of those people who pre-ordered the special edition from Amazon, take a look at your order date, check back in and see if they've changed it on you, and I would reach out to them and demand to know why and what they can do to fix it. Our next story is about a thing that Reggie said in an interview. People were asking him about Mother 3 because, of course, there were all these rumors saying that Mother 3 was going to be announced at the Switch presentation, which turned out to not be the case. And he was like, well, I understand a lot of people out there are fans of things like Mother 3 and also Metroid, some of our lesser worked on properties. I would ask me that question again in 1 year's time and see where we're at on that. So it sounds like that's a very clever... What I got from that is this interviewer did not ask him about Metroid. They asked about Mother 3. So I think he's trying to shift focus away from Mother 3, and frankly, it sounds like Mother 3 is not happening anytime soon, nor is a Mother 4 or anything. So what it sounds like he's trying to say is, I know some fans out there like our older stuff that we don't work on anymore, forget about Mother 3, but hey, you didn't ask me about Metroid. Well, without telling you, I'm going to kind of wink and tell you we're going to have a Metroid game within a year. So at least that's something, right? Anyways, that's it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys in a couple days for less specific to this hype stuff news. Some less interesting, probably, news, but hey, it is what it is. See you then. Bye, guys.